That's monstrous.
I'm here with Mac Hill. Thank you for coming, Mac.
Thank you for having me.
And we're gonna try out some of my gear.
Here we go. Let's go.
Excited?
I'm very excited. I feel like a kid in a candy store. So.
Tell me a little bit about yourself first. Like, who are you? What kind of music do you play? How long have you been playing? You know, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So I've started playing when I was about 8 years old. I started studying jazz when I was like 12, 13 years old.
That's pretty early for jazz.
Yeah, but I mean, definitely was a sobering experience. I mean, I totally, around 14, started taking it more seriously. Started improvising more, playing with my friend Hank Mehren, who's an insane jazz pianist. And honestly, the most I've ever learned was through improvisation and playing with other musicians and just gigging.
Nice. And was guitar your first choice? Or?
Yes, guitar is my first instrument. And yeah, I've just been exploring the neck ever since, you know.
All right, very nice. And what kind of guitar are you playing on now? Can you tell me a little bit about it?
So I brought my Schecter Diamond series. We have humbucker pickups. They're double coil. I put some 11s on there right now, the string thickness and size. I also play with a Les Paul Classic Gold Top with P90s.
Beautiful, little funky with P90s.
Yes.
Like the choice, a little different.
Yeah, you get a little more bluesiness to it too. And I have a Jackson with EMGs right now as well. And it has a boost gain switch on it as well.
And what are you holding right now in your lap?
This is your guitar that I'm pretty amazed about, to be honest. This is a Tele, right?
Well, Tele style.
Tele style, yeah.
It's not really a Tele. What's interesting about this guitar is it's my very first guitar I ever made. It's the OG, so it doesn't even say Messiah, it's P.O.S. Used to be P.O.S. Guitars, which stands for Perpetrators of Sound.
Oh, I like that.
You dirty minds. But that's changed to kind of encompass more of the other items we're doing, because as you can see, we're also doing amps now. And what are we here for today? Mostly
pedals.
Pedals.
All right.
Let's get to it.
Well, I'm excited. Let's go. Yeah, man.
Awesome.
And right now, with this, just the way it sounds right now, it's giving me goosebumps, to be honest.
I really appreciate that.
One thing I also just like about this guitar is I feel it's easy to play. It feels very balanced.
I also like to highlight that we're using Arcane Pickups.
Okay.
So I'll let you know in the description where to get those. They're fantastic. It's my favorite pickup. They're made right here in Los Angeles. You know, one thing that I find is pretty interesting about that sound is every time it's almost like a compression. It's like biting. Let me tell you what this is. It's a Rockhead. It's my first pedal. It's a fuzz. It's also a boost.
Yeah.
So I call it a fuzz boost. But it's sort of the philosophy of me doing pedals that have kind of a dual purpose in one with minimum amount of control. So you can see it only has three
knobs,
and one foot switch. You turn it on, it's on. But what do the knobs do? So we have boost, we have choke, and level.
Yeah.
Boost is the amount of fuzz. That's kind of clear.
Yeah.
Sometimes you call it gain, sometimes fuzz, call it boost.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Level could be volume, same thing again. But is it really? It's a little different on this one. I'll tell you in a second. And then we have choke, which is basically just an input attenuator. So it works the same way like when you turn on volume of your guitar.
Yeah.
But so you get to dial the fuzz in to your liking already before you have to mess with the volume. So if you're switching pedals and playing a gig and doing all sorts of stuff, and at some point you have to roll down your volume just to get the fuzz you want, it's annoying, right? Because
you have to keep.
You have to do it, and then you have to roll it back up for a different
pinky,
pet.
yeah.
With your pinky, and then you're switching to another pedal to have a different sound.
Yeah.
So I put it on the pedal. If you already know what your maximum
You can just keep it at that
signal
level.
is, you keep it at that level.
Yeah.
You can still roll your volume to get less fuzz,
Yeah.
but you get to kind of dial in. So if you have the choke all the way down, and you have boost all the way up, that's basically kind of a fuzz phase-ish sound. It's going to add a little bit of a noise.
And you're attenuating. Is that going to attenuate a certain frequency, or is it
It
just
basically attenuates the whole signal.
the whole signal?
Yeah, the
okay.
whole signal. But it's a useful feature. So in your
That's
intro,
cool.
we had kind of the fuzz phase style fuzz. You know, a little bit of hiss in there, but that raw, still pretty dynamic fuzz.
Yeah.
Simple. What I do, I'm using a vintage germanium transistor.
Wow.
In one of the stages, and the other one not so vintage silicon. So it's a combination. It's a silicon germanium fuzz.
Okay.
That's how that works. But you can see the volume is like kind of before noon, and that's sort of the highest you can.
At the level right now.
Sorry, the level.
Yeah. No.
Called it wrong. My own pedal. The level's a
It's
little
like
bit,
at like
down.
you'd say 11 o'clock right now.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Like once you go past noon, it doesn't really work, and I'll tell you why. Because at that point, you're exciting the booster that's built in. It's a MOSFET
I see what
booster,
you mean.
and you would be feeding too much fuzz into the boost.
So it's just
So
pushing.
It's
too
pushing
much.
it
Yeah,
too
yeah.
much. So the setting for fuzz is what you just played, and if you want to have like more of an overdrivey sound, we can choke it a little, maybe take down the boost also.
Yeah.
They'll clean it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the last setting would be where you do even less boost, and you can use the input attenuator at whatever level you like to clean it up even more.
Yeah.
and then you add the boost.
Yeah.
On
So
the
you can
level.
go from there. I see what you
So
mean.
level
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
past noon becomes boost. So it's not very usable with a lot of fuzz, but with less fuzz and a little bit of choke, it produces some interesting boosted sounds, which are still fuzz-like.
But
it's
you
not
still
a straight
have,
boost.
You still have. It's less dirty. I see. What
It's
you
less
mean.
dirty,
Yeah,
and it's kind of a vintagey style boost, and it really
That's
works
honest-
well with tubes.
Yeah, and that's honestly my favorite sound is when it's not too much, but you have just a hint. It's like you're feathering it in a way. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, so
yeah.
let's get a little bit more overdrivey sound out of it.
So that's the same chord I was playing for the clean sound. But yeah, for like, it's like a storm. It's not, it's how much it does feel like a rocket. I like the name of it. Yeah, so it's, I would say even, I mean, that was kind of like some rock metal riffs, but even if I was doing like, if I was to do lead lines or some sort of hook or a melody, I would like this sound personally.
Cool. And I mean, almost sounds with it's choked up a little bit, and we
Yeah.
have less fuzz in there. That it tends to gate a tiny bit. It feels like.
Yeah,
It's
like-
kind of a little bit.
I do
the,
like-
the ends are sort of like almost muted,
Yeah.
but not quite. It's still fuzzing.
One thing I do like about the way it's responding to the way I use my picking hand is like, it's be able to do that even in a live performance, you know, it's incredible. I like.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Let's try the dirty booster mode.
All right, let's go. I just love how responsive this sound is, you know, honestly. Yeah, man. That's nice. There's energy.
You got
Oof.
that, right?
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you. And I should also mention we are a little buzzing there because
Yeah.
you are using a split coil now. You're on the
Yes, I am.
you're on the brighter setting of the split coil on the neck pickup, which I know you told me earlier. You're like, because that one of that sparkly sound.
Yeah,
of that
exactly.
pickup.
And it comes through, especially for bends. When I'm going those. It still has that thickness, you know? Yeah, man, that's.
Well, that's what
That's
happens
something.
when you invite a jazz musician. You got your rock and roll pedals. That's what happens. Very nice.
Oh, I love the sound.
Thanks, Mac. Well, I think we've shown what we can, and
With the rocket.
should we move to the next pedal?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm excited.
Next pedal. That's our next pedal, Billy, which is an overdrive.
It's like Billy Goat. Yeah.
Yeah. What's interesting about this overdrive, as
Yeah.
you can hear, it's not really heavy. It's not like a distortion.
Yeah.
It's really kind of a transparent overdrive. It's not too dissimilar to Timmy or that really pricey Japanese one, if you know what I'm talking about. But I added some other tweaks to the circuit. For one, it has more gain
Yeah.
in terms of level, the output level, and that was kind of necessary because, see, there's a switch, and I added a couple
Yeah.
more modes. So right now you play it on a silicon
Okay.
diode clipping,
Right.
and I also put in germanium, which we're going to try next. And,
Wow.
And there's a kind of a surprise, which right now the mode is marked with a question mark, so we don't really know what it is.
Oh,
Well,
I like
I'll
that.
tell you what it is
Yeah.
because it's not a secret. The other thing that might interest you that contributes to the transparency of the sound is
Yeah.
that the bass control, which I call low just to be different, but the bass control is engaged pre-gain. And the other part that's interesting, this
Yeah.
is the one pedal that I encourage you to open it up and adjust it inside. There's a trim pot inside where you can actually decide how much of that bass, the ratio of bass and treble is getting fed into the gain stage. So you can tweak it with a little screwdriver, you can tweak it yourself.
Yeah, I really like how you can hear every note. I don't feel like I'm losing harmonics here. Yeah, it just makes me want to do sharp nines too, because it's just, I love this.
It's very nice. It's still very clear. You can hear all the notes. What you said.
Yeah.
Well, let's check out the other clipping mode, which is the germanium dial clipping mode. We have to crank up the level a bit higher on germanium setting because germanium diodes clip the signal a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
So it diminishes the level a little bit. But it does add a little bit of saturation and compression. But I have a feeling that with your hands we're going to hear it, because you're a very dynamic player.
Oh.
And that's what it's for. I'm really loving this pedal, Billy. I'm remembering this one because it's rare to find something with so much warmth and clarity, you know? I actually like it on this setting a little more than the last one. I have to say it's my favorite. The first one's more raw, and this one is more rounded, I would call it. But you know, it has more saturation, a little bit more compression.
In a pedal, and having this amount of just options is really cool. I think,
well, we haven't seen everything yet because there's a question mark on the last mode, and it wouldn't be me if I didn't add fuzz to an overdrive. So it's actually kind of a coincidence that it worked out in the circuit, because I didn't really make huge changes, just so everyone knows. But you're still getting free fuzz in overdrive, remember that.
Oh, I can hear. It doesn't sustain. It's like gating it in a way.
It's gating it.
Yeah. It's almost like a synthesizer, man. It's like a dirty saw wave or something. No, that's cool. That's interesting. Whoa, so.
You can make it sustain if you try. I know you've been kind of playing more of a staccato there because it wants you to do it.
All right, you're right. It's almost like those two bends just became one note right now because of it. completely. It's almost like it's.
Different pedals.
Yeah, it's almost a whole entirely different pedal. That's wild.
Well, awesome. I really like what you do with it. It's fun. Very brutal.
No, I know. I'm just like. Maybe if I'm like. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's interesting because it's almost like it wants me to sustain, but if I do the slightest lesser touch or pressure, it's like...
It shuts it off right there.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I like it. If I was to write like a hook or a lead line to a song, I'd probably use the setting and layer it with the synth or something. It's like almost like it makes... Yeah, like I'm getting creative inspiration. Just this pedal's great. I love the versatility of it. So it's just slight. It's slight, yeah. That's a song, you know? So I'd say this pedal is one of my favorites so far. I know we've only done these two, but just because if I was looking for something, especially if I was starting out my own pedal board, this would be one of the first ones to get because of how much options there are.
Words of wisdom.
You know what I mean? So if you're a guitar player looking for a pedal and you want a fuzz pedal, or you want something to EQ the lows and highs and you have these settings, this is perfect. And I want one, so.
I think we can come.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one.
Next pedal.
That's cool.
What do you think this effect is?
I'm thinking it's like a overdrive, but it sounds fuzzy, I would say, but definitely has a British
fuzzdrive.
It's fuzzdrive. All right.
That's what I call it, but it's a British keep going. It's Dandelion fuzzdrive.
Yeah, it has a, you know, that sort of British 1970s just dirty distortion, you know? It reminds me of that whistle. It kind of whistles a little bit, you know? Like the way that comes out, it's like. It's interesting too, because this pedal I feel like breaks up the harmony a little more, but it's not like painful. I feel like it.
Good point. Not painful is always good in music.
Yeah, it's not, you know, it's not piercing my ears. It's like I feel like even if I like how it becomes one. Is what I'm trying to articulate. It's like every time I do a bend it sounds like it's just one unifying force. Yeah, man, this is very specific, I feel like, this fuzzdrive. I like it.
Let's just try something. You play a little bit, I'll get down on the board, and I'll twist knobs on Dandelion just to show there's a little bit of variety to the sounds. Hopefully we get somewhere to more overdrive-y sounds and somewhere to more fuzzy sounds.
Fuzzy sounds, okay.
So let's see what we got.
Awesome. That's brutal. This pedal thickens the tone up a little bit.
I do have a player who's using that exact pedal on a dirty channel.
Yeah.
Which sounds crazy because it's a very dirty pedal.
Yeah,
just
so
like during solos.
It's like double whammy almost. Yeah,
kind of, just pushes it really hard without getting choked up. So it's another choice for the heavier player. All right, let's check out the next pedal. Flare is dual pedal, so there truly are two effects in one. We have two foot switches,
Okay.
but only 3 controls. And you can see the controls are different colors. The purple knob and 2 green knobs.
Yeah.
So the green part is a tweaked version of Dan Armstrong Green Ringer, and the purple portion is a 1 knob MOSFET booster. In order to have kind of a clone of the Ringer, just crank both green knobs all the way to the right, and that should be pretty close to the Ringer. I have an idea. I think we should kick it up with the booster and see how that sounds. I'm gonna get down there on the board and kind of dial in a little bit of that volume and tone as you play.
Okay. That's crazy. I will say it's interesting how the actual tone even changes. You know, I mean, that's might be obvious just regarding louder and quieter, but even it opens up and gets like it's back. It's almost like an envelope. How does that happen?
Let's just try that booster on its own as well.
Oh yeah, let's try that.
Without the Ringer. Clean sound.
There's the boost, huh? Yeah, that's why I love that flare. It's like, wow.
It's that why, but backwards.
Yeah.
What do we call it?
The envelope, I get the
It is
envelope.
the envelope.
Yeah, yeah, it's like, it's going like this. Yeah, it's like an hour.
What do you say?
I'm just like, whoa. Yeah.
It cleans up whatever's in front of it if it's a noisy pedal. Check that out.
Whoa, hang on. Some TNT. That's a monster, man. It's crazy. I really like the ring for doing high bends. If I was performing and I got a cue from one of the headmen, like, it's you, I'll be like, okay, ring, wha-bam!
Last one in the lineup is Quiggly, which is a cute little octopus in a sweater.
I gotta say, it's my favorite color. It's pink and light blue. It's pretty good.
I took some selecting, actually. There's one pedal in existence that is already sent away with blue knobs. Only one person has blue knobs. You know who you are, Nick. Anyway, there is a blue pedal based on Tycho Brahe Octavia, vintage pedal. Less controls than mine. Similar circuit, very similar circuit. Okay. But I'm proud of it because it's a fuzz that I really enjoy on its own. And what I did, I also was able to turn off the octave portion of the Octavia. So you can have it just as a fuzz or as an octofuzz. And I added one more knob, which I call choke, which we know from Rocket. It's input attenuator, which really cleans up the signal and prevents the fuzz from choking up.
Yeah, man, I fucking love that sound. Especially when you do vibratos, like I can like really feel it. Same with the ring on the flare too. I remember that, but. Yeah, this is a nice fuzz.
This is on the woolier side, I would say.
Yeah.
It's
a little thicker, isn't it?
A little thicker.
Yeah.
And that's why the attenuator, the choke button, works really well, because you really kind of need it. You know, my improvement to the octave is that I have switchable octave. So if we turn on the octave, it's going to brighten the sound quite a bit.
So it's bringing it.
It's going to bring it up, and you'll hear the octave, especially in the high register, but it happens even on the low notes.
Yeah, it's definitely good for leads, you know?
And what do you think about the switchable octave function?
I think the octave actually brings more juice into it. Like, it feels thick. I like it. But it does brightens, it definitely brightens it up. I see what you mean. That's nuts, how that happens.
Yeah.
How's that happen?
Is it good nuts or bad nuts?
No, it's good. No, it's good.
Nuts.
I'm just
we have
like
some good nuts.
No, I would say this. I always look for sounds that make you think is that a guitar? Like, sometimes, you know, if I'm on stage and if to have that at my fingertips or my toes, my feet, my toe tips.
Toe tips?
Yeah. No, I think it's just great to have a versatile, you know, having options. You know, if I'm doing, I like doing melodic solos, but I also just like making pure noise. So if I'm performing and just going in that direction, this is a cool sound because you can just get some weird tones out of it. Definitely like.
Got octave sustain at the
Yeah,
end. It's kind of
see?
nuts, right?
Yeah, that's cool. Like
I let it ring out.
It's different.
Well, I have an idea. I can go down there
cool.
and twist some knobs again and see if we can get from some overdrive sounds to a fuzz, which we have now.
Let's do
How
it.
about that?
Yeah. That's monstrous. That is monstrous, man.
Well, that was.
It's crazy how much it thicks. I don't even know how that happened.
Well, that kind of was.
Is that the choke all the way down, huh?
It choke all the way down.
Interesting.
Boost and level all the way up. So to me, that was an unusable setting. I had it kind of for fun with the octave.
Yeah.
But you somehow still managed to pull some
Something out of it.
music out of it.
Something,
It's incredible.
yeah.
I never heard that before. So I guess the whole range is usable. Now I didn't
Yeah.
know. Now I know.
I mean, I really must say it's one of my favorite fuzzes. It's hard to find a fuzz that I'm like satisfied by. So.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
nice words. And it's my favorite fuzz out of my entire selection, which is kind of entirely fuzzy, and I enjoyed that one the most as well. That's all the pedals we have today. What did you think, Mac?
I mean, I'm very impressed. I'm thoroughly impressed. I know there's two favorites I have that I'm probably going to end up investing in.
And those are...
I'd say the Billy.
Blair and Billy?
Billy and Quiggly.
Oh, change of heart a
Yeah.
little bit.
I love Flair, though. I would have to say that's the next one after those two I'd get.
All right.
And of course, I love them all, to be honest. And one thing I really love the most is that how many options that you can explore. And also, just as a guitar player, I really, if I'm using fuzz or an overdrive tone, I usually use it for a specific sound, a specific hook, or a melody in a song. And even for soloing, like just being able to switch, and even the octave, right, on Quiggly, and being able to turn that on immediately and not have to spend a long time to just find that sound is really important, I think, even for live performance. So even
Very
for
cool.
production and live performance, I have my mind is running with ideas, you know.
Well, Mac, thank you again for coming
so
today.
much.
And
Thanks for having
one
me.
more thing. This is for you.
No, are you serious?
Yeah. What do you think that could possibly be? I think it's
Oh my God,
is it
no
a necklace?
way. Wow, Tom. Thank you very much.
Awesome. No, I
Dude.
really enjoy having you.
No way. I'm blown away. I can't believe it.
I'm so happy you enjoyed all the pedals, and they sound pretty good to you.
They sound incredible. I also was wondering, did you do the illustrations, or who did the illustrations? I
Oh,
love
the
'em.
illustrations are awesome, right? I
They're
didn't
great.
do them because I'm not that good, but they're done by a really talented artist. You can find her on Instagram, and the handle is Mad Lizzie Industries. Yeah, there's 5 of these designs, plus actually 6 with the buffer, and I have a couple more in the works that she did, and they're fantastic. You have something to look forward to. Thank you. I appreciate you being
Thank
here
you,
and playing
man.
today. And why
Pleasure.
don't you tell us where we can find you?
You can find me at Disco Mechanic on all socials. I have a website as well, and
So Instagram,
Instagram,
Facebook,
Facebook, TikTok,
TikTok,
and Twitter,
and on the web also, and on Twitter.
and on the web. And you can find me on all platforms. I have music on Spotify and iTunes and SoundCloud.
An amazing artist name, by the way.
Thank you. Hey,
Love
man.
that.
Thank you very much.
Love that. Awesome. So this is a new channel for me, so hopefully I get more than 3 views. But if I do, and you're interested to learn more, you can also find me on Instagram, also on Facebook. I have a website with all my stuff. That's pretty much about it. I don't do the Twitter thing and TikTok. I guess I'm too old for that, I guess. But Mac, thank you so much for being here today. It was
Thank you so much.
awesome,
It's a pleasure,
awesome.
man.
Thank you. I'm sure this wasn't the last time.
No, yeah.
And I'll see you guys next time.